Alright, so in this video we are going to look at the application of calculus. For those who want to join my online tuition, you can WhatsApp me on this number. So the question is saying the diagram shows part of the curve y is equal to x to the power 2 plus 1 intersecting the line y being equal to 4x plus 1 at q where the coordinate is 0, 1 and point P, which is at this point here. So the coordinates at Q we have been given as 0, 1, 0, 1. Then the coordinates at P we don't know, that is x, y. So the first question is asking us to find the coordinates of P. So what we are going to do here is that when two lines are intersecting at one point, let's say we have this line here as well as this line here, when they are intersecting at this point here, they are going to be equal to each other. So what I mean is, meaning to say this line here which is straight and this line here which is making a curve, they are equal to each other at this point, which is point P. So at point P we can say line 1 or line y1 is equal to line y2. So you can just imagine to say y1 is going to be equal to 4x plus 1, and then y2 it can be equal to x squared plus 1. So this is what we are going to do. So since they are equal to each other, we can say for y1 we are going to put 4x plus 1, which is going to be equal to for y2 we are going to put x squared plus 1. Then we do the computation. So this they can go, because we know to say that when this one goes to the other side it's going to become negative, so they are going to cancel each other. So what are we going to remain with? We are going to remain with 4x, which is going to be equal to x squared. So this one can be written as this. When I take this one to this side, then here we're going to have 0. Factoring out what is common here, we are going to have 0, then 4 minus x, which is going to be equal to 0. So in terms of the answers that I'm going to get here, number 1, x is going to be equal to 0. And then another one, we're going to have x minus 0, x minus x, let me say 4 minus x, which is going to be equal to 0. When I do the computation, x is going to be equal to positive 4. So these are the values which I have. So according to this point here, this point is corresponding to the dotted line when I draw this one here at this point. So you can tell me to say at this point you are going to have 0. This 0 is representing the value of x at this coordinate, which is point Q, meaning to say the value of at this point here is going to be 4. So now since they are coordinates, so I have to find also the value of y, since we know to say that now the value of x we have found, which is positive 4. So what are we going to do now to find the value of y? So the value of y, we have to choose either of these equations. So we can say if I choose this one here, then open bracket, we know to say that the value of x is 4 now. Then what am I going to get? I'm going to get 17, which is positive 17. So writing the coordinates, we can say P, then open bracket, since the coordinates are in this form here. So x, that is 4, y, that is 17. Then from there, we are done answering Roman numeral number 1. Answering Roman numeral number 2, we are finding the area of the shaded region, which is this part here. So what is the formula? So area is equal to the limits, that is b, then a, then open bracket. So we're going to say the upper function. So what I mean about the upper function, so let me just write upper f, then minus lower function, which is lower f. What it means here is this line here is on top, this straight line here is on top of this line here, which is forming a curve. So the line which is on top there, we can say it is having what? But before I go there, what are the limits? The limits we have 4 and 0. So we have to start with a bigger number on top, where you say 4, then 0. So for the upper function, what do we have? For the upper function, the equation is this one, which is 4x plus 1. And then for the lower function, what is the equation? So for the lower function, the equation is this one here, which is x squared plus 1, then dx. So you have to make sure that you integrate what is inside here. Okay, then we evaluate at the end. So if I integrate this one here, so integration allows us to add the power and then divide it by the sum that we're going to get. So we have 4x, so this is 4x to the power 1. So if I add 1, I'm going to get 2. So that's 2 now divided by what I have. That's 2 divided by 4. Then what am I going to get? I'm going to get 2x squared. So that is what I'm going to have. So here I have 2x squared. Then here, since that is 1, I'm just going to get x. Now remember, here there is a negative. So if I distribute a negative here, what am I going to get? I'm going to get negative x squared, then minus 1. This is what I'm going to get inside without integrating it. But if I integrate this one, which is inside, I'm going to get x cubed, then divided by 3, then minus x. Then the limits, I'm going to put them here. Then after that, you can see that these, they can cancel each other. So what am I going to remain with? I'm going to remain with 2x squared, then minus x cubed, then divided by 3. Then the limits 4 and 0. So what we're going to do now next here is we're going to replace 4 throughout, and then minus, again we replace 0 throughout in this one here. So what I mean is this: for the first part, we're going to replace 4 where we're having x. Okay, so if I replace 4 where we're having x, this is what we are going to have. Then we say minus, then again we're going to replace 0 throughout. So if we replace 0 throughout, this is what I'm going to have. So remember that on this part here, we are just going to get 0, so we have to ignore about this part here. But what about this part here? We have 16 multiplied by 2, that is 32. And then here we have 64. Okay, so here we have 64, then divided by 3, then minus 0. So you know to say that 3 can go into 64. If we divide there, we are going to get, what are we going to get? We are going to get 21.33. Then when I less here, I'm going to get 10.67. Then this one, it has to be in square units. So square units. Then this is our final answer. So this is how you're supposed to answer this question. Thank you very much for watching.